You know, when I first got appointed to be the chairman of the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, it was not the job I wanted. I had another job in mind that I wanted the president to give me, and I didn't get it. And I thought to myself, I don't even know if I really want to do this job or not, but I was like, you know what? For some reason, I need to be there. Before I go in there, I get a phone call from one of my friends because at the time, SIPC was dealing with the Bernie Madoff scandal, dealt with Ponzi schemes, collapse of Lehman Brothers. And this guy called me. He said, Orlan, I'm your boy. You'll be the first black chairman of the SIPC. He said, I don't think you should take the job. I said, why? He said, because you can't win. It's a Ponzi scheme. All the money's gone. All they're going to do is look at you and say you didn't do the right job, and you'll be the first black. You'll be the one that'll mess it up for all of us. Man, with friends like these, who needs enemies? But I told him, I said, bro, the Lord told me this is where I was supposed to go. I go in and I take over this position. The Bernie Madoff scandal is going crazy. I have all these people wanting to get their money back, and now they're looking at me. I get in there and I ask them, what's going on? You know, do we know anywhere where the money is? And they told me, we know where some of the money is. I said, where is it? He said, there's a guy down in Florida named Jeffrey Pickhour. He's got some of it. I said, how much of it does he have? They said about $7 billion. I was like, really? I said, well, go down there and ask him for it. They looked at me. They were like, man, you crazy. What do you mean go down and ask him for it? I said, y'all got to understand, I have an issue. I'm not a good starter, but I close like you can't believe. I don't go down and do all those initial things. I'm the dude you call when the pushing and shoving gets started. So I sent a team down and said, well, tell the dude you want my money. And then he came back. They said they won't give it to me. Jeffrey Pickhour laughed at us, told us, get out, you'll never see it. 3 months later, I get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Jeffrey Pickhour drops dead in his swimming pool. Swimming, 65 years old, falls out, has a heart attack. Wife dives in, tries to save him, dies in her arms. I called the team and I was like, hey, when y'all went down to see Pickhour before, who else was in the room? They said, well, his wife was in the room. I said, well, what did she say? She said, she didn't say anything. And then I thought to myself, I see my road into this thing. So I sent her a little card. I ain't sent her the card I wanted to send her. The card I wanted to send her, you should have given me my money or you wouldn't have had this issue going on. But y'all pray for me. The Lord's not finished with me yet. That's why I don't get to start. I got to close, you know. So. But I sent her another card that says, sorry for your loss. If you want to talk, give me a call. A couple months later, she calls me. She said, hey, man, I want to be done with this. I'm sick of this. You see, what happened, Madoff only took money from his closest friends. He only took money from the Jewish community. His wife said, I can't even go to synagogue anymore. I'm a pariah in my community. I send kids money to go to school. They send it back to me, call it blood money. I don't want to live like this. I need you to help me. So I told her, give me back my money. And I will cleanse you from all your unrighteousness. So we sat down, we talked about it. She said, I can't give it all to you. I said, all right, well, what can you give me? She said, I'll give you $5 billion. I was like, all right, I'll take that. That's a lot of money. But then I had to deal with this guy named Preet Bharara. And I don't know if you guys know him. He's on TV a lot now. He used to be the U.S. attorney for the 2nd District of New York. They call him the Sheriff of Wall Street. I called Preet. I said, hey, man, I got the deal done. She's giving me $5 billion. Let's go give it back to the people. Preet Bharara says to me, nah, man, can't do it. I said, why? He said, you ain't coming up here doing no press conference, giving out money. People start asking me who else is going to jail, and I got nobody. Forget it. It's like, forget it. So I went and called some people, and I said, all right, this is what I think we need to do. Let's go get more of the money. So we go back and forth, and finally she tells me, you can have it all. $7.2 billion. You can have it. I go back to Preet. I said, I got it all now. He was like, nah, I still can't do it, man. I got somebody else I got put in jail. Find me somebody to put in jail. I was like, that ain't my job. My job's to get the money. Your job's to put people in jail. So he and I get into this match where we about to go at it. And I tell him it's around Christmas time, and this was the worst part of the deal. All the people that actually had these claims that thought they were going to get paid, they had banks coming to them, buying the claims from them at 10 cents on the dollar. And I couldn't tell them I had their money. So now I have these people selling their claims when I got their money to give them for pennies on the dollar. So now I'm getting mad. So I start threatening. I'm like, listen, I'm going to the President of the United States, man. I remember I was going to the White House Christmas party, and it was December the 16th, and I said to them, if I don't get a phone call by the time I get to the president to take my picture, I'm about to turn it on like you ain't seen it turned on. I was online. They were just getting ready to call my name. My cell phone rings. I look down, my office calls me and said, we now got a deal. $7.2 billion we recovered back. To this day, the single largest asset forfeiture in United States history. Don't tell me not to take no job God tells me to go to. Once that money came in, other people start getting scared. Next thing I know, this guy's giving me $800 million. This guy's giving me $800 million. This guy's giving me $700 million. By the time I was done, we'd collected back $15 billion, and I'm not even sure we had a good legal argument to get it. When God puts you in charge of something, and he tells you it's for you, ain't nobody in the world can take this from you. I don't know who Jeffrey Pickhower was, and I'm sorry he had to die, but I asked that dude to give me my money. The bottom line is, God expects you to do what he asks for you to do.